Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Urban Libertarian here, and yeah, this is I had to make this video. Huge news. So Sessions is out. Rosenstein's not in control of the BS Mueller probe. Lots of stuff going on. The plan is totally coming to head, and this is just really good news. So I want to talk a bit about that. Oh yeah, and of course, Adam Schiff from over here in Burbank is saying that Whitaker, the new attorney general, he needs to recuse himself. So everybody should just recuse themselves. I mean, if you can't see the game that the Democrats are playing, I mean, come on. So I wanted to go over the highlights of Trump's news conference. I wanted to talk about, from this news conference, you can kind of see how the propaganda media, unfortunately, does a good job of brainwashing people, and it's pretty bad. But yeah, this Mueller thing is gone, and the tide's turning, and the I guess empire striking back, if you will. But look at this stupid question. So I'm going to start. Bear with me. I promise you this will be very good and informative. Let's just start with this stupid question. It goes right into the whole Jim Acosta thing, and I'll get into that as we go. Here we go.
One, I was tempted to ask you why you like Oprah so much, but I think I'll go on to the question that...
why do I like Oprah? What kind of a question is it?
Exactly. What kind of a question is that? Exactly. The dumb shit they asked the press. Oh, my God.
Just asking. Just curious. But the real question...
He's a comedian here.
The real question
I do like Oprah, by the way. I do. She was a person I knew well, came to my place in Palm Beach often, and I have a lot of respect for her. Unfortunately, she didn't do the trick.
The real question is, you just sat up here and said that from this podium that are you offering an my way or highway scenario to the Democrats? You're saying that if they start investigating you, that you can play that game and investigate
better than them.
Can you compartmentalize that?
I think I know more than they know.
Can you compartmentalize that?
Right there. I think I know more than they know, and that's so true. It's so true. And they already started investigating him illegally with the whole Mueller probe that was funded by funded by the Clinton campaign, the DNC, which is the same thing, which stole the election from Bernie. Not that I like Bernie, but that's true, right? And then they worked with Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr. They worked illegally with the government of Australia and England. And this is all common knowledge. If this sounds like crazy talk, then you just don't know. Sorry, I can't help you. Look into it. But yeah, it's all bullshit. Look into it. I don't have to teach you guys. You need to look into it yourself.
And still continue to work with them for the benefit of the rest of the country,
No.
or all bets off?
No. If they do that, then it's just all it is a warlike posture.
And so then, wait a minute, then the follow-up...
You heard my answer. Go.
Exactly. So he's basically saying, oh, you're not going to fight back. You're just going to let them, like, fuck with you. And then see, all blame is on him.
Well, since it's Jim, I'll let it go. Okay.
Oh, and since it's Jim, I'll let it go. Well, what's so special about Jim fucking Acosta? Oh, that's right. Because Jim Acosta just shouts a bunch of bullshit out of his mouth. Look at Trump already knows. It's a bunch of bullshit. Jim Acosta is not a real journalist. All he does is obstruct. He's got an agenda. He doesn't just ask questions, for real journalism's sake. He does stuff to cause a scene, and he makes it about himself. And that's like rule number one. You shouldn't make it about yourself. Anyway, here we go.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to challenge you on one of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign.
I wanted to challenge you. So he starts off with the question, I want to challenge you. What the fuck is that? I want to challenge you? See right there, that's why. And he goes on to this. He's got to constantly fight dumbass fucking questions about Oprah and shit from Jim Acosta and other fucking idiots.
In the midterms.
Here we go.
If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for taking.
Oh yeah. Funded by who? Who's it funded by? And who's been found inside of those caravans, according to the president of Guatemala? Who? Come on, Jim. Do your job. You don't even do your job. This isn't. It's an attack. Bullshit.
And why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
Why did you have an opinion, sir? Sir, why did you have an opinion? And you just I talked over Trump, and he's like, yeah, thanks for describing what that is, you fucking asshole. Yeah, sorry, I have a different opinion than you, but that's not allowed in the progressive mindset, right? So much for free speech.
Do you think that you demonized immigrants in
Not
this
at all.
election
No, not
to
at all.
try
I
to
want
keep?
them-
Immigrants? You mean? Uh, see, he's lumping illegal and legal.
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process.
That's racist. They have to come in legally and through a process. I'm sorry, that's racist.
I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your
You know,
campaign-
wait,
your
wait,
campaign-
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and
Well,
so
that's
on.
true.
It poured.
Huh, well, that's true. You had an ad showing the truth, and he's like, "What the fuck? What do you want me to do? It's true." Well, they don't want that, Trump. You don't get it. That's why the media and these type of people piss me the fuck off. You know why? Because they don't want you to tell the truth. To them, the truth is racist. They just label whatever they don't want to fucking hear as something that's easily demonized. It's a joke.
But
They weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing
They
that.
weren't actors.
They weren't actors. Did he just say they're not going to be doing that?
Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood.
Exactly, Jim. So exactly. And then this other guy later on, if you're still with me, he talks shit about to the president for having that one commercial that not everybody, the media loves to say is racist, but it's not, about that one illegal immigrant who like killed some cops and said he'd do it again. And they're like, oh, that's racist, and even Fox will air it. It's just because everybody conspires against you doesn't mean it's fucking true.
These were people. This was an actual. It happened a few days ago. And
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of
You know
miles
what?
away.
Well,
That's
that matters.
not an
you
invasion.
should- honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings
Let
would
me
be
ask,
much
if
better.
I may ask
That's
one other
enough.
question, Mr. President. If I may ask
Peter,
one
go
other
ahead.
question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President,
See, and he says that's enough, and he keeps fucking going.
That's
I was going to
enough.
ask one of the other folks.
That's
had-
enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr.
Excuse me.
President.
That's enough.
Mr. President,
That's enough. And he says, "Pardon me, ma'am." And a girl woman, oh, whatever. Don't go take that hold that against me. But a woman speaks, and he's like, "Oh, pardon me," speaking again over her. This guy is just a dick. I'm sure any real journalist thinks this guy's a fucking tool. I mean, totally.
one other
Peter,
question,
let's
if
go.
I may ask, on the Russia investigation, are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned
indictments-
about anything with
that you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming
investigation because it's a hoax.
Are you?
That is true. And it's going to come out. And the media's going to shit themselves. And they've already got the protests lined up, because that's what this is about. Right? Hundreds of protests across the U.S. organized by MoveOn.org, which is George Soros, and other progressive groups are planned to begin if Trump fires Mueller. Well, he's not going to fire him. What's going to come out is they're going to declass. The corruption's going to come out that shows how Rod Rosenstein, all the actors in the DOJ and FBI, all the way back to the last administration, were totally lied and committed crimes. And people are going to freak out, just like they freaked out on Hillary's server, right? It's true, but we don't want to know. And they're just going to freak out. And it's total nonsense. It's really scary. So that's why I make these videos, just to try to point this shit out.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Are you worried about why? For what? That's a fucking stupid question again. And he starts by saying, "I want to combat against you."
Mr. President,
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter, go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts
Well,
his
I'm
butt
not a
like the
big
rest
fan of
us.
yours either. So
I understand.
I love it. He's got balls. And look, if you don't like it, tough shit. I love it. Look, I had to deal with Obama, talking like blah, 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 lying out of his ass. Just, Trump lies. I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he fucking doesn't, all right? They all fucking lie, But I mean, he's truthful. He says truth. The things he's saying right now is fucking true. That's why millions of people like him, because other presidents and other people they just take the abuse and they're not even on his side. They're here. They've been fucking us for years. For years. And this dude's an outsider. And he's not taking any shit, and the media can't fucking stand it. And people who are weak, and you know, not even weak, I get it. There's a lot of people, good people, unfortunately, who are just turned off by the way he talks, not necessarily by his politics. You know what? That's cool. Everybody, I get it. I get it. Certain people turn me off too, and I get it. And that's unfortunate. And that really is unfortunate. And I will say that is his fault, you know. But at the same time, those attributes that maybe a lot of people don't like about him make him a tough fighter and stands up for himself. And that's a good example that we need for our children and everybody in this country, to stand up to bullies. You know, everything they say about him, races, all this shit, it's just a projection of their own feelings and their own thoughts. It's ridiculous. He's not racist. Any of that shit. Anyway, this is taking too long. Here we go.
Be honest.
So let me ask you a question, if I can. You repeatedly said,
You are the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly over the course
Okay,
of the...
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr.
It's true. Look, you can just point to one incident. When you look it up, Jake Tapworm said, "Oh, you can't look at these declassified documents." I don't know what it was. It was I think it was the Nunez memo, and they're like, "But that's why you have us to read them for you, because they're illegal for you to read." Look back on all the stuff they talk about. Don Lemon's a total racist. You know, he says that you know, we need to deport white people, and white people are the enemy. All this, white men. I mean, it's just a joke. All right, so. Let's move on to 56. I don't know what we was talking about here, but by the way, thanks Space Force News. I will post the link to the original link that I got this from. Here we go. 56. Let's see.
2 years. And you said that at times you could have and should have used a, quote, softer tone.
Oh, this is about his tone. His tone. And listen how the media is attacking. By the way, if you watch my videos, go ahead and look back. You can see in the beginning, before he was elected, it was 90% negative coverage. Okay, the media is biased against Trump, whether you like it or not. It's true.
Your critics, as you can imagine, your skeptics, they say they're not holding their breath on that happening. Will you indeed have to change your tone if you're to get things passed through Congress after losing the House? And you also said you might extend an olive branch. What would that look like?
I would love to have. I'd be very good at a low tone, but when things are done not correctly about you, written about you, said about you on television, on wherever it is, you have to defend yourself.
It's just true. And then a good example is after this, they're going to say, "Oh, Omarosa and your lawyer said you said racist things." He's like, "Where's the tape?" Right? They have his lawyer taped fucking everything, right? Where's that tape? Okay, and that's the thing. Remember, look it up. Fake news. They said the MLK, Trump removed the Martin Luther King bust of Martin Luther King in the White House. That wasn't true. He was with Shinzo Abe. They're like, "Oh, he's I don't know, he's not doing protocol. He threw the fish. Look at him in his asshole." And then CNN purposely zoomed in on that. Okay, speaking of fake news, CNN, right? And they didn't show President Abe doing the same thing first. Okay, so there is obvious propaganda. Look, even if you don't like Trump, you have to admit that. If you don't even understand the realities of what he's talking about here, you're fucked.
I would love to do very, very even tones, much easier than what I have to do. I have to go around, and going around is much easier than facing somebody and being treated fairly. But when you're not treated fairly, you really have no choice. I would love to have a very even, modest, boring tone. I would be very honored by that. But you know what? When you have to fight, all the time fight, because you're being misrepresented by the media, you really can't do that.
But not about the media, sir. But sir, real quickly, not about the media, but what about with Congress?
Please, go ahead.
What about with Congress? The same thing. The same thing. They slander each other. They use the media.
Mr. President, can you tell how you
There's a video of Nancy Pelosi talking to the media, okay? And she even talks about how they do the smear campaign. She's like, "We basically say something, and then you guys repeat it, and then that's called like the smear and whatever." She's definitely senile, and she just revealed like their fucking tactics. They just say shit. All you have to do now is just say it. And people, oh yeah, Cheeto face. That sounds about right. That's true. So let's go on, continuing with the same concept.
Are trying to take over the speakership, and I said, if it's appropriate, I said if we can and if we will, if she has a problem, I think I would be able to very easily supply her the necessary votes. That's not said.
He's talking about Nancy Pelosi there.
In any way other than I really believe she deserves that position. I also believe that Nancy Pelosi and I can work together and get a lot of things done, along with Mitch and everybody else.
But there's no way, because that's not her. Her whole thing is to fight him. She's not going to want to work. He's already saying, and that's the thing. President, what did you say? What did they say about you not wanting to work with Pelosi? He just fucking said it. Okay? And Nancy's going to sit there and go, but they don't say, what about you, like toning down your rhetoric, you old witch? And working with Trump for something. No, they don't say that at all.
Else that we have to work with. I think we'll get a lot done.
Mr. President, why can't you do that while subpoenas are coming through?
Excuse me?
Why can't you work together while there are
Why can't you work together while they're just fucking subpoenaing you for no fucking reason?
subpoenas or while there are investigations in process?
Why don't you just
I think we will. Look, now that the election's over. Now everybody is in love. But then I see the hostility of questions in the room. I come in here as a nice person wanting to answer questions, and I have people jumping out of their seats screaming questions at me.
Negative combative questions. That's what I think you meant to say.
No, the election's over, and I am extraordinarily happy. I really am. And by the way, I tell you, if I wasn't, look at.
So here at 107, here we go. This is it's talking about the he's talking about, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, being racist from PBS. Look at this shit.
This was a great victory for us. And again, from a deal-making standpoint,
on the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are...
See, some people saw that, okay? So it's like you said one thing, but then other people took it as another thing. And that's what they always do. Some people say, some say. It's a common, I've worked in the news media. It's a common tactic. Some people say, yeah, you're fucking saying it. You fucking assholes. You guys are saying it. And again, all you have to do is some people say, and then there it is. And then there it is. It's bullshit.
Also
I don't know
saying
why you'd
that
say
the
that.
pres-
It's such a racist
There are
question.
some people that say that
See, again, some people that say, twice, some people that say baseless accusations.
now the Republican Party is seen as supporting white nationalists.
Nobody said white nationalist, bitch. You did. You said white nationalist. Look, Trump, myself, and the rest of the fucking country who love this country, and that's like every other country you go to. Ask them, are you a nationalist? Well, yeah, of course they are. That's what president would not be. Why would you want a president of your own country to not be a nationalist? Okay, not to care about your country. That's what it means. It means you care about your country. There's something called white nationalism. Yeah, that's just like the media's picking up on something that sounds like they go, oh, assault rifle. It's a made up fucking bullshit name. There's no such thing. Okay, AR doesn't stand for assault rifle. It's Armalite rifle. Okay, there's no such thing. So these are the words that they use and the little tricks that they do. And they'll just keep hammering. And he said they've asked him this question they've asked him a bunch of fucking times. And all he can say is, that's not right. It's not nationalist. Look, I'm a nationalist. That's what you're supposed to do. Fuck, I'm the president. What do you want? What do you expect? Jesus. There's globalists and nationalists. Oh, white nationalists. Like, they're not fucking listening.
Because of your rhetoric. What do you make of that?
I don't believe it. I don't know. Why do I have my highest poll numbers ever with African Americans? Why do I have among the highest poll numbers with African Americans? I mean, why do I have my highest poll numbers? That's such a racist question. Honestly, I mean, I know you have it written down and you're going to tell me. Let me tell you, it's a racist question.
And Mr. President, I
love it. You know what the word is? I love our country.
Mm-hmm.
I do. You have nationalists, you have globalists. I also love the world. And I don't mind helping the world, but we have to straighten out our country first. We have a lot of problems. Excuse me. But to say that, what you said, is so insulting to me. It's a very terrible thing that you said.
And Mr. President,
it's insulting to anybody who loves the country. That's really insulting. It's true. And then why does the media report? The media should report. The reporters ask a bunch of insulting questions to the president. That's a news story.
Mr. President, people have you talked about middle class tax cuts on the campaign trail. How will you get Democrats to support that policy?
You have to ask them.
Well,
Hey,
what's your plan for working with Democrats on a middle class tax plan?
You know what my plan is? I'll ask them. And if they say yes, I'm all for it. And if they say no, there's nothing you can do because you need their votes. Go ahead.
And here's the thing. Is that reporter going to ask the same question? Is she going to go, hey, Democrats, what's your plan to work with Trump? They'll be like, oh, we're going to resist and we're going to fight and we're going to like, and they'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then he's the great divider. Dude, it's a joke. All right. So let's go on to the racist questions. They won't stop. It's about 1:15.
You brought up the audit. That doesn't prevent you from releasing them.
I know. Oh, sure.
Right.
I didn't say it prevented me. I said lawyers will tell you not to do it. But what's your next question? Go ahead. Come on, let's go.
Just on that.
More exciting question than that, please.
Second one. Michael Cohen recently said you called black voters stupid.
That's false.
Omarosa has accused you of using the N-word.
And the way you even said it, black voters stupid. The way you said it. Like, why? Nothing that's... You know, Hillary just said all black people look alike. Where's this reporter on her ass? Right.
And the rapper Little John has said you called him Uncle Tom. What's your response?
I don't know who Little John is.
He was on The Apprentice.
I don't know. Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Have you ever made racist remarks?
No, I would never do that, and I don't use racist remarks. And you know what? If I did, you would have known about it. I've been hearing there are tapes for years and years. There are tapes. Number one, I never worried about it because I never did. I never used racist remarks. I've never used racist remarks. Okay.
Well, one point of fact. One point of fact, because you told her you have the highest approval among African Americans. It's just 8%, sir.
What a dick. And that has nothing to do with him saying racist shit. He never said it. And it's higher than 8%.
Or single digits.
See, when you talk about division, it's people like this that cause division. Great division. Great. The point of fact is that I never used a racist remark. That's the point of fact.
You're going and
Who are
slandering
you
them.
from?
I'm from Yahoo News Reader.
Yahoo, you? No, good. Good. I hope they're doing well.
I mean, what kind of questions are these? If people were asking questions, anything like this, or something that was comparable but different, same but different, if you will, to Obama, those media guys, they should have their licenses taken away, press pass. Come on. What kind of questions are those? And they'll keep asking those questions. And all you say is, come on, it's ridiculous. Why don't they ask Pelosi that? Why don't they go ask Hillary, are you racist? What did you mean by all black people look alike? What did you mean by that? We're going to interrogate her. There's a real soundbite. There's no recording to Trump saying shit, and there never will be. Fucking ridiculous.
So first question.
Where are you from?
All right. I think I'm about done. So anyway, these are the best from the Trump speech today. To wrap it all up, Sessions is gone. Rosenstein's gone. The D-class is coming. Dems have the House. That doesn't really mean much. The Republicans got more in the Senate. It's hammer time. It really is. It's the blue wave didn't come. Then the Democrats got kind of excited. Oh yeah, we're gonna change, and you know what? It's not gonna come out. And allegedly these protests are planned. That's not good. The media's really going to freak out when this D-class comes and they find out, Trump's not racist. There's nothing to do with him with Russia. In fact, the investigation's now being turned on to the fired people from the corrupt DOJ, FBI, and the Clinton campaign and all that shit. And they're not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to handle it. They really aren't. And that's kind of scary. So, all right. Thanks for watching.